Russia's invasion into Ukraine marks the beginning of a new war in Europe. And while many analysts believe that Ukraine's military is better prepared today than it was in 2014 when Russia annexed Crimea, President Volodymyr Zelensky has called on his fellow countrymen to pick up arms, tweeting, "We will give weapons to anyone who wants to defend the country. Be ready to support Ukraine in the squares of our cities." And they have. GZERO's Alex Clement talked to one Ukrainian who is fighting to preserve his country's democracy.
Facing a massive attack by the world's fifth largest army, Ukraine is holding out as best it can. President Volodymyr Zelensky has declared martial law, prohibited all men between the ages of 18 and 60 from leaving the country, and promised weapons to anyone who wants to join the fight. The Interior Minister says more than 25,000 rifles have already been handed out in Kyiv alone. And across the country, armed volunteer groups have sprung up to defend local communities as well. One such group, active on the outskirts of Kyiv, calls itself the Wolverines, a nod to the heroes of the 1984 film Red Dawn. Wolverines! Daniel Bilak, a Canadian lawyer with Ukrainian heritage who has lived in the country for more than 30 years, leads the group.
This is a crime against humanity. I mean, Putin and his gangster friends are all going to be tried as war criminals.
At his home, he was without power, his face lit by candlelight as the fighting moved closer to his village.
Everything that I worked for to build is now being threatened, and that's worth defending. The rights and the great democracy, the vibrant, dynamic democracy that Ukrainians have built is worth fighting for.
If you're going out on armed patrols in the middle of a war, are you scared when you go out at night?
I think people are just pissed off. I'm pissed off. We've had 300 years of living under colonial oppression of one form or another and being basically denied an identity, a right to exist, our own language, by the Russians.
Groups like the Wolverines may be showing Ukraine's claws against a much larger enemy, but experts like Sarah Yeager at Human Rights Watch worry about the dangers of giving out weapons to civilians with limited military training.
As soon as you pick up that weapon, you are, according to international law, directly participating in hostilities, which means that you lose your civilian status, which means that you can be targeted, and it also means that you have to abide by the laws of war. And of course, nobody's had training on the laws of war.
Still, with the Russian war machine bearing down on them, Ukrainians like Daniel believe they are fighting not only for their country, but for something bigger.
We are fighting for every democratic country, certainly in Europe, and for democratic and European values.
For GZERO World, I'm Alex Clement.